cut your breast and leave at home for your babies or anything like that, or cut your breast and give to someone to breastfeed. Even pumping, you have to sit down to pump, and that's a lot of work. Breastfeeding is just a lot of work. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're stopping by for the first time. Like the title of this video suggests, I'm going to be sharing my experience exclusively breastfeeding. The kind of person that loves to follow rules, like just do things by the book. And the experts have always said that breastfeeding is best for baby. Breast milk is the best kind of food for baby. And let me just say before I start this video that this is not to brag or to say that those mothers who cannot breastfeed their babies for one reason or another are any less of mothers or are not good moms. It's just different strokes for different folks. Okay, this video is especially for that mom, especially for that twin mom who wants to sincerely breastfeed her baby or babies, and can, but is afraid that she may not be able to do it. That is being discouraged. I'm making this video. I just want to let you know that it is possible. You can absolutely exclusively breastfeed your twins. My third trimester, I noticed that my breasts were already beginning to leak, and that was good news. That was a sign that, as far as I was concerned, that was a sign that I was going to be able to breastfeed my baby. When my babies were eventually born, I had a C-section, like I've shared severally. On that first day, I couldn't, and I wasn't advised to even get up from my bed, so I could hardly breastfeed them from morning until I think it was later in the evening that the nurses woke me up to breastfeed, and in the afternoon that they woke me up to breastfeed, and there was nothing coming out, but they kept insisting that when the baby suckled, anyway, it will stimulate letdown of milk, and the breast milk will eventually come in. But in the meantime, my babies could not go hungry, so I had to get Nan1 baby. I had to get formula for them in the meantime. And Kweme say that she had to get formula for her baby on the first day or the first couple of days, and also a Daisy's Space, I think that's the name of the channel, that they had to get formula. But I don't know what I was feeling like. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't think about getting formula even as a first-time mom. I just thought that I'll give birth and then eventually go straight to breastfeeding. But that didn't happen. Twin one, she wasn't eating. But that breast or formula, she wasn't just eating. She wasn't just taking anything in. Not that she was throwing up or anything, but to open her mouth and take it, she was so tiny. Nurse said I should get a little cup and a spoon for them for the formula. So I did. She couldn't take the milk, she couldn't take the formula with the spoon. Guys, remembered the next day that Adaisy's Space had said that she used syringe to feed her baby. So I thought, this is just what will work on her since she couldn't open her mouth. And so that was what we resolved. About my breastfeeding journey, I always count the fact that the nurses were there to help me through a positive part of my long stay in the hospital. So it was just, I was learning. I haven't been a mom before. I haven't had a baby before. So it was a whole new experience for me, from learning how to handle my breast, learning to put it in my baby's mouth or let my baby take it in properly. There was so little. It was hard, especially the first twin. Like I said, it was hard for her to take it in. So that was like it was a struggle, guys. It was a struggle. I'll be breastfeeding today. One person will guide me, one nurse will guide me, and then the next day another nurse will come and tell me, no, you're not doing it right, do it this way, do it that way, do it that way. So it was a lot to learn, but I guess I was just taking bits and bits of what everyone was saying. I was ready to learn because I just wanted to give my babies the best. And so we kept alternating. Anytime they couldn't or didn't want breast milk, I would try the formula. I'll try to give them formula. But by the third, fourth day, they they were breastfeeding quite well, or I was able to breastfeed them quite well, so there was little or no need for the formula. The time the pediatrician came, he asked me a couple of questions. So as part of clearing us, the pediatrician asked if I was breastfeeding or if I was giving formula, and I told him I was breastfeeding, but I had to give them formula on the first couple of days, and he said it was okay, and he strongly advised that I breastfed them. And he didn't even mention the fact that okay, they are twins, it's going to be hard, you should do this and do that and do that. He didn't mention that. He just said that I should breastfeed them, no water, nothing else, just breast milk. And the struggle continued, trying to breastfeed two babies, both of them crying at the same time, and I couldn't at that time. I couldn't carry two of them to breastfeed at the same time. I can actually breastfeed both of them. No one taught me that, and I didn't teach myself. So I learned express breast milk and actually have someone else feed one baby while I breastfed the other. This is what it looks like. This is what the breast pump I was using looks like. So I battled flat nipples. Some people have inverted nipples, but mine was flat nipples, and that made it all the more difficult for my babies to latch, or to be able to latch onto my breast. It made breastfeeding all the more difficult. So one nurse at the hospital did this. This is a syringe. So what she did was to cut off the top part of the syringe and come up with this without this. Guys, I have so many syringes because I was using this to breastfeed my babies. So yeah, it's not like I have a hospital in my house or anything like that. So she would use this and attach to my breast, my nipple, and then suck it out like this way the nipple will become protruded. So flat nipples are flat, like the word suggests, like they are flat, and it makes it difficult for the baby to be able to latch onto your breast. Like I said earlier, how to know you have flat nipples? If you pinch your nipple and it doesn't come up like erect, that means that you have flat nipples. Having to do this on a new mom, and like, I mean, my breast milk was just coming in, making my breast sore and so painful, and then we just had to add flat nipples in the mix, and this, oh god, it was painful. That's just what I'm trying to say. It was painful. Especially at night when they'll be crying at the same time. All I did was just express milk before sleeping and leave in the bottle. So some people have said that they don't like the whole expressing breast milk because it's not coming fresh, or what. Breast milk can stand on its own without going bad for 6 hours. Like, if you now put it in the refrigerator or in the freezer, it can stay much longer. So you don't have to worry about that. It goes bad only after 6 hours. So what I would do, I would breastfeed from my breast and all during the day, because they were mostly asleep during the day, and they were not they were hardly awake at the same time. Not hardly, but we could control them because there were more hands during the day. That's just it, basically. But then at night, before going to sleep, say anytime from 7, 8, 9, I would pump breast milk up to 125 ml. Of course, it wasn't easy in the beginning. It wasn't easy getting that much. Whenever they both started crying at the same time at night, I'll be able to have someone else breastfeed one with the bottle, of course, while I did this. I don't think this video will be complete without me actually stating why I decided to exclusively breastfeed my twins, aside the fact that the experts say we should do so. One, breastfeeding is cheap. It is cheap because I know I have to eat well. You have to eat well as a mom to be able to breastfeed exclusively, especially twins. But what I'm going to eat, the portions I will eat, will be nothing compared, or how much I'll spend on my own food will be nothing compared to how much I'll spend on formula if I have to formula feed my babies. Another thing is, I am big on hygiene, and I know that it is possible to sterilize bottles and do that, but that is just additional stress. I saw that as additional stress, because how would I be looking after two babies and at the same time washing bottles up and down? The pumping, the breast pump that I had, washing was a problem because I would want to do it myself, use the special brush and sponge and all of that. It was just something that I thought was better to do. It was just something that I thought was better for me at the time. Most of all, I heard or read that breastfeeding transfers antibodies from the mom to the baby. So that means that your babies are better able to fight sicknesses or illnesses. And I thought, wow, that's magic. I'll definitely try this out. I'll definitely try this theory or put it to the test, because if there was anything that was going to save me stress, I was all for it. How can I have two babies, no help, or little or no help, and then they'll start falling sick? I couldn't deal. Also, because my babies were twins and they were born so little, these were all the reasons that made me just want to stick to exclusively breastfeeding. I battled serious breast engorgement. Like, my breast would be full and aching. Maybe because one baby wasn't sucking as much, and then sometimes on some other days her sister also would be like that. So my breast would be full and painful and sometimes sore. I would even tell my mom that my nipples were bleeding, but they weren't actually bleeding. It was just how painful my breasts. I didn't breastfeed at all. I didn't try to, because if I just put them to breast, I'll start to scream, like practically scream. Especially one of them, she still couldn't latch onto the breast properly. So it was terrible breastfeeding with breast engorgement. So what I would think out, and I would feel a little better, and then I'll be able to breastfeed them with my breast, because they didn't like to suck from the bottle even if I tried. So the one in the bottle would just end up going to waste, and I'll just throw it away anyway, no problem. As far as I felt better, or my breast to increase my food portions, I had baby weight that I didn't want, but I knew that I had to breastfeed, and I knew that if I was going to do that, I had to eat well. Breastfeeding, whether one baby or two babies, and not eat well. You have to eat properly for it to work, especially if you're breastfeeding exclusively. Just ate healthier, took more fruits, more vegetables, because everyone told me that whatever you're eating is what your baby is eating, or your babies are eating. So I just tried to eat a variety of meals and eat healthier, so that they got the best from me. I cannot say that any particular food helped my milk supply. Some people say oats and the rest, but I found that pap, oats, all that didn't do anything exceptional for me. I simply had to eat and eat well. Something else that I noticed was whenever I had the time to nap during the day, it helps me breastfeed better. Not to talk of nights. I'm just saying that whenever you rest, or whenever I rested, it helped my breast supply. Whenever I slept well at night and woke up, I would notice, even if I had to breastfeed at night, I would notice that my milk, my breasts were full in the morning. Or whenever I had the time to sleep, 30 minutes, 1 hour during the day, I'll wake up and notice that my breasts are a little better. So resting is definitely an important part of milk supply for any breastfeeding. Anyone expected that I was going to exclusively breastfeed my twins, but I like a challenge. That's the kind of person that I am. Because I didn't expect it and people said that I couldn't, was another reason for me to do it. Like, I made up my mind I was going to do it and nothing was going to change. Were there challenges? Were there moments that I wanted to give up? Yes, severally. Even up to 4 months, it was hard. And I wanted to ask me, if you think that breastfeeding is what you want to do, don't be discouraged by what people say, or the fact that it is hard. You can do it. You can do any regrets? No, at all. I don't have any regrets. I'm happy. I'm grateful for the grace to have been able to do that, because if I didn't, I'll forever think about it I'll be like, I wanted to breastfeed my babies exclusively, but I couldn't. But I'm glad for the grace to have been able to exclusively breastfeed my twins, even amidst discouragement when I told her I was going to exclusively breastfeed my twins. And at first it was just surprise, and then her hearing everybody else telling her I couldn't, it would be hard and all of that. But she eventually started seeing the benefits, and she was the one even encouraging me. I'm glad that there was somebody to encourage me, because that definitely helped. There were times that I wanted to give up, like I said, by 4 months, and she would tell me, you've already come this far, just make it to the end. It's not like you can cut your breast and leave at home for your babies or anything like that, or cut your breast and give to someone to breastfeed your babies. Even pumping, you have to sit down to pump, and that's a lot of work. Breastfeeding is just a lot of work. It's a lot of work, guys. But I'm glad. I don't have any regrets at all. I'm glad that I was able to do that, no matter how difficult it was. I mean, it is just 6 months out of a baby's whole lifetime. I, I, I that's not too much of a sacrifice to make for them, if you ask. That's who genuinely cannot breastfeed. Like their milk just does not come in. But if you can, and you want to, just go ahead. You can do it. It's difficult. It's difficult because the baby is dependent on you. You don't have a life anymore practically, but you can do it, and it's just for 6 months. 6 months may seem like forever at that time. Oh, I'm just saying 6 months because my own time has passed. It was hell at that time, and I know, but it will be over, and you'll be glad that you recently did. I saw a tweet from at letter to Jack or something on Twitter. I've forgotten the handle, but I'm going to find that tweet and I'll insert it up here. In that tweet, he talked about how um his life changed when he became a dad, and he saw how much his wife struggled, especially with breastfeeding the baby. And there were times when he would ask her to take a break, and he would look after the baby and all of that, and it warmed my heart, and it reminded me of what I had to go through. Like, if there were more people having such conversations, it would definitely reduce the cases of postpartum depression and baby blues, because that shit is real, guys. It is real for babies. There's also perks for mothers. They say that breastfeeding helps you lose baby weight and or baby fat, and I think I can say that that definitely worked for me, because maybe I don't know how much bigger I would have been at this point or now if I didn't exclusively breastfeed, or if I didn't breastfeed my babies. But I know that I lost weight fast. I know that all those baby fat, especially my stomach fat, went down quite fast. Considering the fact that I had twins, it went down quite fast, and I can definitely attribute this to breastfeeding, because I didn't do any sort of workout or anything like that. Or things that it's too much for her to handle, or that it is too hard. I just want you to know that, girl, I did it, and you can do it too. You can do it if you want. It's getting long, and that wasn't the intention. I just simply wanted to come out and encourage someone, a new mom, a first-time mom, who wants to exclusively breastfeed her baby or her babies, but doesn't have the encouragement that she needs. If you are the mom who doesn't want to exclusively breastfeed your babies, who doesn't want to even breastfeed her babies, that's fine, no pressure. I think that is why we have formula, so that your babies don't starve. I'm going to end this video here. Don't forget to be good to a nursing mom. This video a huge thumbs up. It will let me know that you like this kind of content, and I'll be sure to make more of them. Share with your friends, people you think it might be helpful to. And hey, if you've watched up to this point, what are you waiting for? Subscribe already. Subscribe and join the family, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so that you get notified straight on your phone when I upload a new video. Leave me a comment if you're a new mom, if you're a nursing mom, if you are not a nursing mom, if you're a new parent, if you are a mom of twins, if you breastfed exclusively, if you didn't, why. I'll just like to hear from you. My babies are already worrying left and center. You can see this one is already touching my breast. She wants me to breastfeed her, so we have to go already. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.